All right. Toufii,
How's
what's
it
going
going?
on? Do you want
Well,
to give us a little kind of just a heads up about what you guys have been working on at Hypercycle over the last few weeks? I know that you're traveling so much. Sometimes it's hard for people to get to like pin you down. So what's going on at Hypercycle?
a lot going. One of the things that some people heard about is that when we were at the AI conference, and I think I told you about that one in Geneva, we met this phenomenal fellow who gave us a customized hardware for Hypercycle, which at the time we thought we'd call it Hyper Appliance, and some people said Hyperbox, whatnot. So we're still kind of like going, to figure out what's the name of that. But we figured a phenomenal opportunity. How about us with Hypercycle? We own a percentage of that company that is going to make that. So we negotiated a phenomenal deal to get 30% ownership. We will vest it like others. We also negotiated a subsequent deal with some phenomenal folks in Korea that they want to sponsor the development in making of those devices. And we're talking about $26 million in sponsorship that could be doubled. So we're talking about 52,000 devices. So that's phenomenal start. We're more and more confident that we're going to have at least 53,500 nodes up and running by the end of this year. I mean, dude, this is like way better than anybody ever thought. We said 18 months from March, from May 8th, and then here we are, like within 9 months, where we're bringing some babies up. Furthermore, we have noticed something that in the 5 beneficiaries that I talk about quite often, one of them is the HYPC token holder. There's a lot of demand from those machines to get that HYPC. Of course, somebody would be like, well, you're a company, why don't you take it from your company and give it directly to those devices? Believe me, it doesn't work like that, okay? It needs to have the provenance that is actually coming through the whole factory setting of signatures and whatnot. That's from one perspective. From another perspective, we need to make sure that the people that they have invested money into those tokens, they have like the first right to kind of put them towards deployment, not us, we're minting the tokens and we get to go and put them to work. So we've had unanimous support from the board and many people in the company to look at what is static for the next 24 months. Okay, so those people that have invested money, they're going to be vesting their tokens. What else is static? Well, in our tokenomics that we've published to everybody, everyone can see that there's certain buckets that they would get released into the company to treasury. So those are 2 things that they are static. We know that that's only a time that triggers them, not effort. Like, for example, if I get any token, I haven't really got any because it's like there's the 6 months for founders, whatnot. I will have to work for them. Everybody who's working for those tokens, they will need to work and the time. But we're talking about those 2 different categories. One is that it's triggered by a time for the investors to kind of get their tokens, and the other one is for the company to get. So how about the company will then unlock those, provide them to those investors so they can utilize their tokens and put them into pools, and those pools they can plug them into the machines. So those machines, they're actually consuming the tokens, which is one of the utilities of those tokens, is to have the identity, which is 1,024 per node. So it seems working really well. The audit.
So if I can jump in. So what you're saying is, you guys, as you look at the release schedule of all these tokens, you have some people that bought their tokens on launch pads, and you have some early investors, and they have a bunch of tokens that are not yet vested, meaning they're not yet released to those investors.
Correct.
So you guys are creating a function where they can take those tokens that are not yet released, and they can actually put them to work in the various nodes and master nodes.
The native token, correct.
The native token.
So with that method, because of the confidence that we have in math, in cryptography, we've sent that smart contract. I mean, we negotiated those terms in the smart contract with the HyperPg, which is we have ownership in HyperPg as well. And we said to the guys, look, anyone who's going to run the pools will get the exactly same as you guys. You're not any special, but it has to be that smart contract. Otherwise, we're not risking anything from the treasury. Okay, so that way it goes from there. It goes towards the actual deployment, and we're calling it early deployment. So this is phenomenal that it's actually going really well, because we got 10 out of 10 on the audit. We've provided the audit to these guys, and they've listed it onto the hyperpg.io. I think it's unvested.hyperpg.io. And there's another version of that contract with slightly little change to have more than 524,288 tokens managed together. So then that way people, if you have like 5 million, you don't want to do 10 different of those. You can have them in one. That other contract, that's the only change to the original one, will still need to go through the whole audit. And as soon as we get the audit, we can provide it to folks. So so that's some of the stuff that they're happening here. Of course, you are very well aware that they started receiving their tokens today, and as much as many people, they thought like, people are gonna get them and everybody's gonna sell, very, very few. It's like it's phenomenal that it's maintaining that. We've seen projects that they all do the crazy drop, whatnot. We have phenomenal supporters, and we feel like we want to continue working together towards that big goal that we're getting to. So, it's not an overnight success. We want to continue working. There's a lot of updates that we would like to give in the next week. I'll save some, so we'll keep you abreast of those. But it's basically on the actual venture that we have also launched in Korea, that is called the Core XL. So that one we've incubated a few of those that they are cooking really nicely, and perhaps we can invite the founders of those at some point to to meet them, and you get to see the more brains into the hypercycle. So super exciting stuff.
So this few weeks is great because you're actually starting to seed nodes with tokens, begin tilling, creating the reputation.
Right.
And I think that's pretty exciting. And I'm going to participate in that as well myself. And I know a lot of people that are excited about it too. So then next week when I get you, can we talk about that deal in South Korea and what that Corel deal actually looks like?
Yeah, absolutely. And there will be some other updates as well that I will share with you. So a lot of exciting stuff here on a product as well. As you can imagine, that the actual tilling is super solid, and there's a few versions that they actually came out, but the one that we're pushing is the one that is fully tested, and then the other ones that they get more testing. So exciting stuff, and looking forward to see how we can build this together with the entire community. It's not a one-man show. It's all of us together. So,
well, I'm pretty excited about it. And then we're going to try to do these on a regular basis, try to get together, once a week or something like that, and just keep the community informed, because there's a lot going on behind the scenes. Some stuff you can and can't talk about just because of the, when you're making deals with companies and things like that, you have a lot of other legalese and things involved, but there's a lot going on. I look forward to getting into it. And I will see you next week. We'll do it again.
Perfect. Looking forward to it. Thanks so much, Nick.
Awesome, guys. See you guys.
Bye-bye.